Governor Anioma Youth of Delta State has been asked to live up to his responsibility of protecting the lives of people in the state. A group known as the Anioma Youth Mandate are demanding for its government's action on an end to the rising spate of killings in the state. The group says it is shocked that despite the spate of racial killings, the governor has, as the chief security officer of the state, is doing nothing about it, even with the huge amounts budgeted as security vote for such matters. The group wants the Commissioner of Police in the state to ensure that the perpetrators of the dastardly act are arrested and brought to justice in the shortest possible time to serve as a deterrent to others. And now to share his concerns on this issue, we have the spokesman of the Anioma Youth Mandate, Francis Onyema, join us via the telephone. Thank you so much for joining us. Clearly, there is a situation in Delta State. If we would go by what the Commissioner for Police said, and I quote, the increasing rate of ritual killing as well as armed robbery operations across the state often been executed in hotels, guest houses and brothels. Can you give us a perspective as to what is really going on in Delta State? If you can hear me, Francis, the question I asked is that...
Okay. All right.
Can you give us your perspective on what is actually going on in Delta State at this time?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So my question is, you know, considering the situation we have at hand in Delta State, can you give us a perspective, your perspective of what is really going on? Because people need to have a picture.
Oh, okay. First and foremost, I want to debunk the claim of the police public relations officer. He was earlier on your news, you know, claiming that it was only just one ritual killing that was recorded. It goes to show that the Delta State Police Command has not done enough, you know, in terms of taking proper record of killings in the state, you know. From what we have today, as it is, we've had about more than 4 cases of ritual killings. You know, recently, once, you know, Ogege, a 300 level student of Delta State University, Abraka, was murdered with some vital parts of her body dismembered. You know, another case, another scenario was about happened about 3 weeks ago. A woman in her early 60s was also killed in the early hours of the morning when she went out on her lawful duties, you know, with her tongue and gullet cut off at O'Hara. This happened at O'Hara. Same scenario played out at O'Hara. 180 Kevin, a 43-year-old farmer, was also murdered with vital parts of her body severed. So it goes to show that this trend is rising, it's continuing. And the Anioma Youth Mandate, as a body, is really worried about this development in the state. We are calling on the state governor, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, to do what is right. He has shown a hope to protect lives and property in Delta State. We are calling on him. If he's not aware, we must remind him that it is his duty to protect lives and property in the state.
All right, Francis, but if you heard the Commissioner for Police speaking to us earlier,
Sorry?
He said, the Commissioner for Police, when he spoke to us earlier, he told us that the police has arrested at least 21 persons, and that's owing to the raid of brothels, hotels across the state. But are you claiming that the officers are not doing enough? Why do you say that? Yes.
The public, the police public relations officer claimed that arrest was made in connection to this, you know, Ogege issue. But we're only saying that the government should up their fight against these criminal elements, you know, in the state. Because if the police public relations officer claims that it was only one issue that was recorded in the past 3 months, then it goes to show that there is need for information, and there is an information gap, you know. And when the police lacks adequate information about development in the state, it means they cannot appropriately fight insecurity in the state, you know, fight these criminal elements who are parading freely in Delta State. So that is why we are making a call to Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, who is the CSO of Delta State, and he has the right to order the police commissioner to arrest this ugly menace that is growing in the state. So the arrest of the people connected to the Ogege issue is a welcome development, but we're only asking that more should be done. The government should step up, in order to address it, because we are gradually advancing towards the festivity period, Christmas and New Year, and even of paramount interest is the 2019 elections. A lot of things go wrong during this period. So the government must stand up to its responsibility by ensuring that these issues are addressed adequately,
All right, Francis, but when we talk of security, it's not just the government that is saddled with the responsibility of securing lives and property, although it's the sole responsibility of the government. But what's the responsibility of the hotels, the brotels? Because these are where these acts have been perpetrated, they're being carried out. But what's the responsibility of the hotels, the brotels, and people of the state in this?
Sorry, I didn't get your question correctly.
My question is, these killings that have happened over time has occurred in different brotels, hotels, guest houses. Why is there not security? What do you think is wrong with the security system in the brotels, the hotels, that these killings are happening?
Okay. One thing is one problem we have with security in the nation, not just in Delta State in particular, is the proactiveness of the security officers. What measures do they have on ground, to check out the movement of these criminal elements? Because I believe that these criminal elements, they mastermind their plans, and in the course of this, they meet at a certain point, make a plan on how to carry out the act. So if these security officers can actually think in a way that they would be able to intercept these occurrences before they happen, it will go a long way. Just like the case of Ogege, who was actually, she was first and foremost kidnapped, and she was transported from the point she was kidnapped to a more convenient avenue where she was actually murdered and some parts of her body kind of severed. If the security agents in the state had the intel on this development, they would have been able to actually track the movement of these guys, and at the same time be able to rescue Ogege. So we are talking about proactiveness. We are talking about the police officer, not the Delta State Police Command, not being reactionary to issues, but being proactive, trying to actually avoid certain scenarios that can be corrected, that can be prevented. So that is the best way, that is the best approach anywhere in the world to address insecurity.
All right, thank you so much. The spokesperson of Anioma Youth Mandate, that's Francis Anioma. Thank you so much for joining us at this time to give your concerns on this issue.